Welcome to the Sykes & Company PA video blog featuring Ollin Sykes.
Some people in their local area, maybe they've been working in an independent pharmacy or at the CVS Walgreens down the street, and they see something come available. The local pharmacy is for sale. Are there reasons that that's a bad choice for them, even if they want to own an independent pharmacy?
Really good question, Rachel. If you're interested in a pharmacy in your community or anywhere else for that matter, you should do some basic due diligence. And that due diligence really suggests that you probably first and foremost have an attorney who knows what they're doing in this particular field prepare for you a non-disclosure agreement whereby the buyer, potential buyer, and the seller, potential seller, will agree to share, exchange information to be held in confidence, to be used and reviewed during the due diligence period, and also typically covers your advisors. So if you're a buyer and you've got that non-disclosure agreement in place, you need to first ask for, obviously, tax returns of that pharmacy, last 4 or 5 years. You need to ask for any external financial statements that have been issued by that pharmacy for the same period. You also need to take a look at the script dispensing logs that their script computer system, their script management computer system in that pharmacy has produced, to be able to figure out and learn what the trends have been with respect to what is being dispensed in that specific pharmacy. Some of the script dispensing systems would allow you to actually dissect that information even further, i.e. it would allow you to see how many new scripts they have filled versus refills. Let me give you an example of why that's important. In an older pharmacy, let's say you're talking to somebody and the gentleman's in his 70s, and maybe his retirement plan is to sell his pharmacy. My guess is, if I'm looking at the script dispensing logs, that the number of new fills he is receiving daily is probably in the low 40s as a percent of the total versus the high 60s with respect to refills. Conversely, we have pharmacies that are on the up and up. They're moving, growing, getting to other ancillary areas of community pharmacy that are new and expanding in today's environment. And they may have 55 or 60% of the scripts they're filling that are new versus refills. So what that's telling me right there is that if you're going in and buying a pharmacy where a guy basically or a lady has been in a slow death for the last 10 years, the question then becomes, if that's the case, can you turn that around within the exact community that this pharmacy is located? What kind of other competition do you have in that immediate 10 or 15 or 20 mile radius? What kind of industrial or governmental plans are represented in that area? And those in pharmacy know exactly what I'm talking about because, for example, Tyson's Foods may have a big facility in a particular town that requires their workers to do certain things in order to get certain scripts. And that may totally exclude that local pharmacy. That's not unusual. So doing your due diligence, finding out whether the pharmacy is growing or dying, find out whether it's profitable or not, finding out what kind of patients that it's serving, obviously doing your due diligence with respect to the prescribers in the community, the relationships you may or may not already have with those prescribers, whether those prescribers are expanding, whether they're contracting, whether the big box retailers in your area are expanding or contracting, whether they're servicing their patients well or not. You've got to do all these things to kind of figure whether your fit into that pharmacy is the right one for you or not. So you cannot just come to the table and say, well, I want to own this pharmacy and I'm going to buy it. And so unfortunately, some people do that, and then they let their emotions get taken over, and they don't look at the business issues behind those decisions, and sometimes will make a decision that they ultimately will regret.
Thank you for joining us today. If you want more information or have any questions, please feel free to contact Ollin directly.